never gonna win.
Great.
Long as you're happy, you're always gonna grin. You get out what you put in. You get out what you put in. Never gonna lose, never gonna win. Long as you're happy, you're always gonna grin.
Very,
You
very
get
exciting.
out what you
Thanks,
put in.
Anthony.
You get out what you put in. You
I
get
can now say I'm a TEDx
what you
speaker.
put
Right.
in.
Good afternoon, Caroline. How are you?
I am so good. It's always great to see you, and every time I see you, it reminds me they're one step closer to the show. So yeah, all
21
good.
steps closer. 21 days.
21 days. Who
21
could
days time.
imagine?
It'll be lunchtime.
It will be. It will be. The
Oh
hard
my
bit will be
goodness.
over. The opening will be done, and I'm sure. Oh, it's going to be amazing. Cannot
Getting
wait.
more and
now.
more excited. Just watching that little intro with all the people that we've had on. This has been absolutely brilliant. So thanks ever so much for having me. And in all
Oh.
our excitement backstage, I didn't put this one up. How naughty am I?
There we go. We love that. We love that.
But why were we having excitement backstage, Caroline?
Oh, well, we've got two of my favorite people backstage, which is very, very exciting because we have got my namesake, absolutely no relation. I would like to put that disclaimer out there right now.
every time
every
we
time.
speak together, it's always no relation. Honestly, no
Every
relation.
time. The lovely Phil Hobden is going to be speaking to us, and well, do I say even lovelier? That's probably quite insulting, but the also lovely Rachel Gregory from my team is coming on, and they are both absolute experts and whiz kids at all things to do with social media and branding. So really looking forward to hearing about that and about Phil's incredible panel session that he is hosting at Accountex this year as well.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I was lucky enough to be on Phil's panel at Accountex North last year. Brilliant. Phil is a superstar. So yeah, looking forward to chatting with him.
It's very good.
Right. Now, every single week you've come on and you said, we've got this coming, we've got this coming. And every week there's new stuff. Surely there isn't anything else that you can tell us about today that's going to be new at Accountex.
I think this is the biggest week yet. I have got
come on.
so much to tell you. I'm a bit worried I've not got enough time, so I'm going to rattle through it and just explain all these fantastic new initiatives that we've got coming to the show. Firstly, we have launched our content from our FinTech and Innovation Showcase. So these are really quick fire, 10-minute short demos of products and software and services. So if you're not sure where you want to shop or what you want to get, come along and just see these quick 10-minute demos. They're amazing.
Wow. So this is like a showcase. So rather than going around and ending up talking to someone for quite a while, you can go and you can see like I'm trying to think, a bit like Dragon's Den.
Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome.
You can do a quick 10-minute pitches and see which one you want to buy, and then you can go back to the stands and have a conversation later. On top of that, and we've got all these amazing seminars. We've got 180 seminar sessions. We've got nearly 50 of these FinTech and Innovation Showcase sessions, but we've also got quite a number of our exhibitors have got theatres on their stands, and their programs are on our website as well. We've got Sage, Xero, TaxCalc, Walters Clerk, and QuickBooks. I mean, there's so much content at this show. You're going to be spoilt for choice. But don't forget that at our seminars, you can get the recordings afterwards. If you come to the show and you spend the day with us, you can get the recordings and they'll be exclusive to you. Other things that we're doing is we're working with the incredible team at the Digital Disruptors on an automation station. So John Toon, Indy Tatler and Ryan Percy, they're going to be helping you with any automation questions that you've got on your own journey, asking expert advice. It's going to be invaluable. We've always worked really, really closely with HMRC, and I'm delighted to say that we are furthering that partnership, and they are going to be doing an MTD tax hub at the show where you can actually go along and get their insights and demo the sign up journey for MTD. So that is going to be really very useful.
There's going to be queues around that, and there's going to be queues around the automation guys as well, isn't there?
I know, absolutely.
Yeah, amazing.
My final announcement for the week, which, do you know what, this really does warm my heart, and I'm really, really thrilled that we can bring this to the show. Many of you will know the wonderful James Lizars, who is a very well-known accountant, who is really striving for excellence when it comes to sustainability. He's introduced us to Laura Gelder Robertson, who is from the Cambridge University's Institute for Sustainable Leadership. And with them, and along with the sponsorship and support of Sage, who we are so grateful to, we are bringing to Accountex London the first ever sustainability zone. It is going to be amazing. You can ask any questions you like. You could an absolute team of superheroes going to be on hand to answer any questions you have. And there is also going to be a little mini Eden project there.
No.
Yes, and an escape room. So do come along, see those guys. They're absolutely incredible. And yeah, we can't wait to bring that to the show.
No, that's absolutely fantastic. Look, Pavel is so excited. He's already booked his train ticket.
Yay!
So be
Oh,
interesting
well
to
done,
know
Pavel.
what Pavel's going to go and have a look at first.
Oh,
I'm sure
yeah.
he's going to come to the LinkedIn Lounge.
Absolutely.
Where I will be helping people with LinkedIn. So if anyone's watching or listening on the podcast, there's a link in the show notes that you can book a little 10-minute slot with me, and I'll help you with your LinkedIn. Jamal, is Jamal coming all the way from Bangladesh? Are you coming over to see us as well? Because it's in London, but it does attract a worldwide audience, doesn't it?
It really, really does. It's such an incredible place to celebrate the profession. It really is. And I know I need to go, and you've got to speak to your amazing guests, but can I just say who's coming next week to join us to speak?
Go on then. This is really exciting. This is really exciting, isn't it?
Oh, we've got a really fantastic keynote speaker called Steve Judge, and he's going to be sharing his inspirational journey from wheelchair to world champion and beyond in business. He is absolute force to be reckoned with, and I can't wait for you to have to speak with him next week. I think it's going to be such a fantastic show.
I love it when we get to speak to people that have overcome adversity. Because we all face adversity, don't we? In what we do every single day. It might just be I've just dropped my blinking cup of coffee on the floor. You know, you can choose to let that ruin your day, or you can just get on. Just get on with it. Wipe it up. It's fine. So I cannot wait to talk to Steve because it is an incredible story. So yeah, looking forward to that.
So inspiring. But
Caroline, I'm going to have to kick you out.
Lovely to see you. Have a great show, and I'll see you next week.
Thanks so much indeed. Take care. Bye. Bye. Oh my goodness. We have got Phil and Rachel. Hi. Hello, guys. How are you?
I'm very well. Rachel is looking far more glam than me. You're rocking the full-on Indiana Jones vibe today. I'm loving that. I just look like your standard fintech product sales guy, right? Like
not at all. You posters. Always look fabulous, Phil. You both do. But yeah, no, I thought I'd rock the hat because we're talking about branding, and I thought I'm going to rock up as me. So here I am in my lovely hat that I bought for Cheltenham this year.
and this is the thing. That. It's all about. We're going to be talking about branding because we've got a branding theatre. Just in case anyone watching or listening doesn't know who Rachel or Phil are, ladies first. Tell us a little bit about yourself, please, Rachel.
Hello, everyone. I am the event manager of the Accountex UK portfolio. I've been working in events on Accountex for the last 8 years, and I absolutely live and breathe Accountex and absolutely love the industry and the community. And so thankful to be working in such a wonderful industry with so many talented, fantastic business owners and professionals.
No, that is amazing. 8 years.
Yeah.
8 years. Where did that go?
I don't know, actually. It's gone incredibly quickly. Like, I think it's just flown by, but every year it just gets bigger and better. And I'm just, so excited for the show. 3 weeks today.
Do you think you might get to like it?
Like it. I love it.
We can tell. We can tell. So events manager, what does that mean?
So it means that I manage our sales team and the overall show being Accountex London, Accountex Summit Manchester, and our digital events. So it's account management, it's management of the overall show, it's spinning lots of plates, it's sales, it's marketing, it's key decision making, it's budgets, it's the whole shebang, basically, working very closely alongside, of course, the lovely Caroline, our portfolio director. But yeah, it's fast paced. No 2 days are the same. Spinning lots of plates, high pressure, but absolutely love it. Wouldn't change it.
And you're thriving on it, and you're doing an amazing job. And thank you very much for being able to spare the time to come in with us today. Phil Hobden, come on, tell us who you are and what you do. How are you doing, buddy?
Well, good, and thank you for having me back. We've danced this rodeo a couple of times in the past. So, so my name's Phil Hobden. I am senior product manager at Silverfin. I guess I've got to be get used to that because it's a new role and a new company for me. I joined Silverfin a couple of weeks ago as we record this, and I've had a fascinating few weeks. But in terms of the wider me, I've been working with accountants and technology for about 9 years now. So I've worn a few hats in that time, predominantly and always in the commercial field. So I've worked for Futurely, I worked for Capitalize, and I worked for one of the big compliance software companies as well. So in that time, I've grown businesses, I've led teams, I've stood on stage a few times, and I've got myself involved with Accountex and this whole amazing social media thing for a few times now, and they keep asking me back. I don't actually think they ask me back. I think what they're doing is they're asking the great panel that I bring along to it back, and I'm just thankfully a willing participant. But I get to work and talk to some amazing people. And like you said at the beginning, Ashley, we had you on back in Accountex Accountex Manchester, sorry, always get that wrong, last year. And they're always fantastically well-attended sessions, to the point where last year at Accountex Manchester, I was a little concerned that we might have had a few too many people blocking fire exits and stuff. There were people walking around with clipboards getting a bit concerned, but it was all good. It was all good. But they're great sessions, and listening to people like Francesca, Stuart, and Rachel about their journey and how they've turned being human and being a person and being real into something that makes them revenue and helps them grow their business is phenomenal. And I never get bored talking to them. They've always got new takes on what they're doing and everything else. So I guess that is not really a nutshell on me, but that's a little bit about what I do.
Yeah, and you're going to have to come back again. You know that because we haven't spoken about Silverfin, so that's going to be another show after Accountex.
You know me.
We'll chat about that.
I'll be there.
You said you've worn a lot of hats. None as glorious as Rachel's. Simon's loving that hat, and Amal's saying it's a big change for you. So good to see you. Right, branding. I've just got to mention Zoe. She knows all about branding. She's always in blue because we know who she is. And this is the thing,
the blue blazer.
Yeah. So where did you get involved in branding, Rachel, and why the hat, for example?
I guess everyone has their business, which has to be marketed, has to be branded, but everyone has their own identity and their own branding within their own right. So from the moment I started out on LinkedIn in my sales role before Accountex, I would post out, connect with my industry that I was in. I was in digital and print advertising, working in Tunbridge Wells for the Courier Media Group, would you please, before Accountex. And so I've kind of always wanted to put myself out there. I've always wanted to kind of engage and connect. And I think it's only more in recent years that I've probably started to get more traction, grow a following, and realised that I want to help and support my connections, and not only just to grow my personal branding and then my Accountex branding, but because I want to help support the connections I have on LinkedIn. So it's kind of always been part of my role. I think sales and marketing go hand in hand. I think people buy from people, and on LinkedIn, I think we have an incredible, nice balance now, where more so post-COVID than ever before, where you're seeing a mixture of personal and business posts. Some people love it, some people maybe don't like it as much, but I think people buy from people, so it's about being real, it's about connection. So I think that's always been part of my role I've always worked in sales, so I just think it goes hand in hand, really.
No, absolutely, and I think Phil, you've nailed it, haven't you? People know Phil Hobden, not necessarily know that you work for Silverfin at the moment, but they want to come and talk to you because you've developed that brand, haven't you?
Yeah, look, it's a weird thing, right? Like I talk to my family about it sometimes and say like what these events are like, and they're like, nah, you're just the boring guy that sits down and talks some film stuff about us. It is weird, right? Like, look, am I I don't think I've nailed it at all. I think what I've done is I've built, people know me within a certain community, and that's fantastic. And actually, I was talking to James from Represent yesterday, and we were talking about networking, and it's amazing that networking branding piece it crosses over, right? So I just think that in an industry as small as ours, and we forget we are like. Volume in terms of revenue wise, this industry is huge, but in terms of kind of actual people, it's actually quite small. You go to Accountex and you do see a lot of the same people you see each year, which is fantastic, by the way. Like you get to catch up with people you haven't seen in 12 months from all over the country. But the industry is quite tight knit, and the vendor community is quite tight knit. It's why some of us wear a few different t-shirts in our careers, as has been mentioned once or twice, because you want to stay within this industry and take those skills to something else. So I think you can build in these industries, you can build a personal brand, you can be known for something. And ultimately, I think what I've found over the years, and similar to Rachel, right, like the more human and real you are, the more people connect and grow. And if your personal brand is one that you're just real and human and approachable, or you have a knowledge space that can benefit people, then I think that's why people gravitate towards you. And I think maybe that's what I've done more than anything is I've kind of just stood out for being authentic and being someone that is approachable and like isn't afraid to say, actually, you need to talk to this guy and this guy needs to talk to you, and try and do that, because I was thinking pay it forward, right? Like you help someone out, you do something good for someone, and then ultimately when you then need some help or assistance, you can go and approach that person and do that. So I think that's what I've done. I don't think I don't think there's any rocket science in it, right? Like it's just it also helps when you go on a load of podcasts and webinars and stuff, people get to know you and know your voice and graying beard. It didn't used to be this grey when I started this industry, but
but this is the thing, and both you and Rachel have said exactly the thing. We like to help other people. Yeah, so that might be commenting on a post, it might be inviting them to sit on a panel and all those sorts of things. Now, Rachel, you work for a big company, but they've given you the autonomy to be Rachel Gregory, because some companies don't. You've got. I was talking to someone the other day, and they're not allowed to do this, and they're not allowed to do that, and I turn around and go, hang on a minute, it's your LinkedIn, is your company paying for it? Oh no, but we're all right, really? And so what would you say to that person I was talking to and having a chat with their powers that be?
I think it's a very tricky one, because LinkedIn is one of the most powerful social media tools for selling in the business world and for having personal branding. And I think what we're seeing is companies are now realizing that, hey, we're paid for this premium account for our sales manager, but if that sales manager leaves, they're taking all that data with them. So companies are wanting to hang on to that. But I do think it is dependent on your role of where you sit within the business. But I would say don't let that stop you. If your company are willing to pay for a premium account, but that has to be a corporate account, have your own account, because you might be loving your career right now, but it might not be your forever chapter. And I think it's so important to raise your profile, connect with your industry peers, and put yourself out there for opportunities, because you never know what's going to land in your inbox on LinkedIn. You never know what company might present to you your dream role. And so I think if you're restricted in your role because your company has certain guidelines and they're paying for a premium account and taking ownership of that, I think it's really important you still have your own identity and your own account. So you can still do the corporate account and stick to the rules of your business, but have your own account and really put yourself out there and continue to build your personal branding would be my advice.
Yeah, we've chatted about this a couple of times, haven't we, Phil? Because you've put a couple of your team members on my workshops and encouraged them to, well, be another Phil Hobden.
Yeah, or actually more be another them, right? Like the world doesn't need two. Yeah, the world doesn't need two of me. Sometimes you can barely cope with one of me, I find. But I think it's really important, right? I think Rachel's right. Someone once said to me, if you do what you do well enough and you build a good enough network, you'll never have to interview for another job. And I can say, hand on heart, the last 4 roles I've had, I didn't have to go through a long formal interview process. And it all came, every one of those roles, be it Capitalized, the Ledger business, where I am now, came from my network and having a conversation with someone at the right time. And that's pretty powerful, right?
Yeah.
Like you've got people out there and interviews are horrible and the recruitment process is horrible. It's not fun. It's degrading. It's so broken. But actually, when I'm looking for people and I need someone for a team, we've got a role that we're looking at in Silverfin for a marketing role. And instantly I'm like, well, I know this guy's looking and I know this guy's not that happy. So let me put these 2 forward because I know they do a great job and I know them personally. And culturally, they'll be a fit. So you can get over that. So building a brand, building a great network, having great connections, it's so powerful even beyond what you do. And this is the other thing, right? Like, why do you do it? Why do I do it? I do it simply because when I want to put a panel together at Accountex, I can look across my network and go, Ashley, Francesca, Stuart, Rachel, done. Right? I've got 4 people with huge personal brands themselves who bring their own audience, who are exceptionally good at what they do, and I can knit that together in 5 minutes. I mean, that makes life a bit easier, doesn't it? Right? Like that's the benefit of having that brand and that network, and because you're bringing them to a larger stage, or you're bringing them to or you're helping them get their message out. That buys you that kind of relationship piece with them. And then they'll introduce you to people and so on and so on and so on. Right. I've had some people that I've helped out in the past and they're like, you're one of the few people I'll always take a call from whenever. And in my head, that tells me to only ever phone them when I really need something and make that count, right? But that comes from that brand and that comes from that network and it comes from building something that is deeply authentic but is based on the idea of a win-win, right? It's always got to be not just what I can take, but what I can give and what I can share and what I can offer. And then if I need something down the line, I know that I can ask these people for something small, some help or some assistance or some ideas or some guidance. And, makes navigating your way on a day-to-day basis far easier.
Yeah, absolutely. Rachel. 9 years, 8 years, however many, a long time. You haven't always been as brilliant and as awesome you are on LinkedIn today. And there's people watching us here, sort of like, oh yeah, but they've done this, there's people watching, sort of like, how do I get started? I'm a little bit worried. What can I share? What tips have you got, Rachel, for that person that's watching right now?
I think, first of all, when you come to Accountex or go to any event, make sure you know how to access your LinkedIn QR code. It depends what phone you're on, but if you're on an iPhone, you click on My Network and there should be a little blue bubble. And Ashley knows what I'm talking about. He's nodding, and so does Phil, because Phil's used it many times.
Just sort of like thinking, do I dare show it now? Because that is a cool top tip. So carry on.
You have a QR code within LinkedIn, which is your personal QR code for your LinkedIn profile. So when I meet people at events, I don't swap business cards anymore. I'm like, let's connect on LinkedIn straight away. Let's connect. So someone else can scan my QR code. There is also a scanning option, so I can scan someone else's QR code. So that's first tip.
Right. Shall I just share that? So like
Yeah.
there's the phone there, look. And if I just click in the search bar, it then
Yeah.
brings up that little squarey thing, right? And if I
Yeah.
just click that little squarey thing, everyone's doing this now. There's my
Yeah,
QR code.
that's
Right.
QR
Little tip, Rachel. Phil's got his. Little tip, right? Turn my phone on, turn it off, turn my screen on again. My QR code is on my home screen.
Wow. See, I didn't know that. You learn something new every day.
Yeah. So what I've done is I've created using Canva. I've gone in, grabbed hold of the template for an iPhone, put the photo of me and my grandson there, and then the QR code I've popped on top. So
Okay.
yeah, because otherwise you've got to scroll through, save it to favorites and all that sort of malarkey.
Love that.
It's bang on the top of my phone.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So everybody coming to Accountex needs to do that, Rachel. What else do they need to do?
Yes. They also need to check out our seminar program online. As Caroline mentioned, all of our sessions are recorded, but you want to plan ahead. Have a look at our branding theatre and see what sessions you want to go to. Hang
on. Phil's there. You're talking about it. I'm near there. Rachel's there. You're just going to come and sit at the branding theatre all day, surely.
Yeah, there's sessions. Like we've got titles like "Help! I'm an introvert and I'm scared of marketing." You are not the only one. If you're scared to post or you're worried about what you're posting, you're not the only one. So many people feel like that, and I think I do my content creation first thing in the morning when I'm having my cup of tea in bed and I've got a clear space. And I'm one of these people that I just write in the moment. However, Phil and Ashley might not be like that. They might plan their posts ahead. Everyone's different, but essentially it's whatever works for you. But go to some of the workshops and get some tips on how to get started. Visit Ashley's LinkedIn Lounge. And yeah, don't be afraid to be you. I think there's just such a stigma of, oh, should I post this? Should I not post this? And is this too personal? And then you see people posting about, oh, is LinkedIn becoming like Facebook? No, it's just becoming real. We are real people with real lives. We are professional, but we also, have real lives that we want to share. And we're just opening up more, which is allowing us to connect deeper than ever before with our communities. So I would just say go for it and you'll be surprised at what magic happens off the back of it.
Oh, I love that word.
Because
it is magic, isn't it? It is absolute magic. I go to these events and I'm quite nervous at events because you don't know anybody, you don't want to, but you go to Accountex and people, they're so warm, aren't they, Phil? They come over, they want to have a chat.
honestly,
yeah.
I think I said this to you before we did our panel in Manchester. I get so nervous before a panel starts that, like, is anyone going to turn up? Are we going to say anything sensible? I no matter how confident and outgoing I come across, and I know I do, right? Like, I'm that introvert sometimes. I'm that nervous person. Rachel, by the way, I do both. I will program a set of specific posts that are time bound, like talking about my session at Accountex, talking about the webinar that we're doing at Silverfin next week with Gravita and Russell. We do that, but then I also post in the moment. So the post I put out yesterday with the AI shirt picture in, right? Like, that was because I was like, that's a really funny picture and I want to do something with it. So I'll post in the moment. And I think that's super important. I think it's really key and that's that authenticity, right? Post in the moment. And the thing I always say with LinkedIn and social media, right? First time I put a post out, no one liked it. No one probably read it. First 10 times I did it, same thing happened, right? And I got to that point where I'm like, what is the point?
Yeah, it doesn't work.
Then it doesn't work. And then I get a post. And do you know what? I did a post about being dyslexic. Something I'd never shared before, never told anyone before, never talked about it. It was part of the dyslexic thinking campaign that Branson was running on LinkedIn. And it got 60,000 views.
Wow.
And I was just like, and interactions and likes. And I was just like, oh my God, the first time I talk about me is the first time I have a post that blows up. Lesson learned.
Yeah.
So there's a great rule, and I always think this is a good one, right? Like, if you're going to put any science to doing LinkedIn, 80% of your posts should be personal, human, real. 20% should be business. related. And those 20%, don't just put, here's my product, buy it. No, make those posts human as well, right? Give people a reason. If you're just selling on LinkedIn, go away. It doesn't work. Buy adverts. It's much more effective. Genuinely, buy LinkedIn adverts if you want to sell. It's more effective. If you want people to engage in your product, give them a reason to do that. And the first thing to do with that is yes, put a link onto your webinar. Why should I attend? What's going to make it go for me, right? So that's probably my big tip, is even on that 80-20 rule, that 20% still has to be human.
And add emojis, like have fun with it, right? Like,
oh my God. I found you could do GIFs today. I found out you could put GIFs
so
on.
Did I, Phil?
Yes, exactly. And I'm like, my mind was like, oh my God, I'm going to get in so much trouble with this. Calm. Don't Giphy on everything, Phil. Be calm. But you're absolutely right. Emojis, Giphies, great pictures, be colourful. Look at Jonathan Gaunt. He's doing some great stuff on LinkedIn. Like all this cool stuff. Like, to me, that makes LinkedIn the first. I check LinkedIn before any other social media now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
Guys, we have a deadline and we've reached it already. And like Caroline said, we could just be here all day. So let's catch up at Accountex, have a chat. I want to know what you're most looking forward to as quick as you can. When I come back, I'm just going to go and let everybody know that next week we have got Steve Judge. Cannot wait to have a chat with him. And so that's next week. He's an achievement catalyst. So Rachel, what are you most looking forward to at Accountex?
I'm most excited to see those roller shutter doors go up and welcome everyone into the show. It's a feeling like no other. I just love seeing everyone. I'm going to go around and hug as many people as possible. I might count along the way. Let's see how many hugs I can get in at Accountex this year.
Get a clicker to do it with.
There you go. So that's what I'm most excited about. Show opening, welcoming everyone, hugging everyone.
Fantastic. And for you, Phil?
Oh, I've just got this vision of Rachel now standing at the rising doors and not letting anyone in until she's hugged them. I love that. For me, look, completely selfishly, I love all the social stuff that goes around it. Accountex is back, which is always a great event. I love seeing people, but like I'm really looking forward to talking to Francesca, Stuart, and Rachel again on the Orbit stage at 5 p.m. on the 15th of May, where we're going to dig into the social media thing, right? And this isn't a plug. It's genuinely something I love doing. I love sitting up there and talking to them. They're three awesome people. And the thoughts, the opinions, and the kind of passion that they bring to what they do and the results that has had is genuinely game-changing for anyone that's owning or running or in an accountancy business, right? So for me, I think it's going to be a really cool talk. But I get to talk to them, and that's actually great because, I get paid to sit and talk to amazing people. Best job in the world.
Oh, brilliant. Guys, thank you so much for being on the show today. And if you're listening on the podcast, all the notes are down below. So we will see you all again very, very soon. Next week with Steve Judge. And thank you to everybody for all your lovely comments. Thank you. Cheerio.
Thank you so much.
You get out what you put in. Never gonna lose.